What would you program a normal week of training, let's say right when they start up their preparation for their first competition?
It's a lot simpler than people think. Starting with the swim, don't go to a master's program. Don't go to a triathlon swim club. Don't go to anything like that because people aren't even there yet. Like, you got to learn how to breathe. Whether it's our book or a coach or somebody like that, like, just focus on being comfortable in the water. And the more times you can do that throughout a week, the better. So if you're getting in the water like every day or 4 times a week, even just for 10 minutes, that's going to be better than going once a week for an hour. Like, way, way, way better, because you got to build that muscle memory and the reflex to the second you put your face in the water, you're blowing out bubbles. And when you're blowing out bubbles and you're feeling like you're getting rid of all your oxygen, that's a good thing. Like, that's okay. That's not all right time to freak out. And that's how your brain is wired. So if you're just starting out, you're going to have a hell of a time in the water. And the way that you fix that is by frequency, short workouts, hop in a pool. Like, it can be a backyard pool. It can be a pool at like your condo. It doesn't have to be a lap pool. Just get in the water 10 minutes a day, maybe 4 times a week. That's going to build some comfort. That's probably going to be the biggest hurdle. And then the other things are pretty easy. The bike, 2 bikes a week, plenty. One where it's pretty easy, and every week you just go a little bit longer and a little bit longer. So start with doing whatever you can. If it's 10 minutes, that's cool. Build up by about 10% each week, and your endurance will come on pretty quickly. The other bike, make it intense, make it hard, make it challenging. 1-minute efforts, 30-second efforts, 2-minute efforts. Mix it in with some rest. Figure out what you can do, and then just build up a little bit more. And then the run, a lot of people, just about everyone, runs too hard, runs with a super high heart rate. Do run walks to keep your heart rate under. You can go on calculators and figure out what your zone 2 heart rate is. Run as much as you can at a super low heart rate. This is going to build that aerobic base, that ability to burn fat as fuel, that ability to keep your cortisol low, to recover from workouts. And if you can run at a low heart rate, your fitness journey in endurance sports is made. Like, that's the hardest thing that people have to learn. And it takes run walks. It takes running 3-4 times a week, again, for short periods of time, and then just gradually building up more and more. And that's like the basics of just getting started. But those are the few things that I'd work on. The breathing in the water, 2 workouts on the bike, 1 being long, 1 being intense, and running at a low intensity. And if you can, I would actually add in running at a low intensity 80% of the time, 1 of the workouts per week, about 20% of the time, fast, like really fast, like wind sprints to unlock that neurological speed, like the stuff that you deal with in MMA, like being twitchy fast. Most adult amateurs just aren't used to moving quickly. So like sprints across a football field, across a soccer field, to open up those neurological connections to fire quickly. You do that, within about 3 months, you're going to be ready to tackle just about any training plan that you can have thrown at you.
Gotcha. So to piggyback off of that, what do you think as far as in the weight room, like strength training wise, what should they focus on there?
Yeah, that's something that I like people always focusing on strength. If we add it in right away, some people might get overwhelmed with it. If you want to add it in, or let's say people want to continue with it, the big thing to note is where you place your strength matters. So don't put your strength day that is intense on an otherwise easy day, because that's just going to turn an easy day that's supposed to be easy for a reason. It's supposed to be recovery focused, it's supposed to be easy. And then if you're like, well, it's my easy day, so I'll put in my strength, all of a sudden you don't even get an easy day. So pair it with the intense stuff. And then when you start getting into really specific training, like let's say you're doing your first race and you're planning, all right, I'm going to do a specific race training for 2 months. During that, pare back the intensity, make it just about muscle activation. So maybe you're having your weights or just doing body weight. You're really just hitting muscle groups, making them active, turning them on, as opposed to stressing them.
Gotcha.